at or near the top of your emergency preparedness list should be water. If the water infrastructure is either completely down or not providing clean water, how are you and your family going to survive? Humans can last about 3 weeks with no food, but only about 3 days without water. And that water needs to be safe to drink, free of bacteria, protozoa, and viruses. According to the World Health Organization, 3.4 million people die as a result of water-related diseases. We also need water for cooking, cleaning, and bathing. So let's get informed about emergency water preparation and storage. On average, people in the United States use between 80 and 100 gallons of water per day. In an emergency situation, we can get by on about 1 gallon per person per day. It's recommended that you have, at a minimum, 3 days of water stored per person. So a family of 4 should have at least 12 gallons of clean water stored for emergencies. Consuming either too little water or contaminated water can lead to a medical emergency. Too little water can lead to dehydration, and contaminated water can lead to waterborne illness, both of which can be life-threatening. Again, 3.4 million people die each year from unclean water. We will provide links to information on the signs and symptoms of dehydration and waterborne illnesses and what to do if either of those occur. There are a variety of sizes of water storage containers ranging from 55 gallons down to 5 gallons and smaller. Good long-term storage containers are usually blue or light blocking and will be stamped with PET or PETE on the bottom. When it comes to the water you'll be drinking or cooking with, only use containers you're certain haven't been contaminated or use brand new containers. A popular size to store in the home are the 5-gallon stackable water bricks. However, just to get started, you can simply buy and store the 1 to 2.5 gallon bottled waters from your local grocery store. This is a short-term solution. Store your emergency water away from sunlight, as this can cause bacterial growth to occur. So a dark closet, pantry, or cabinet is fine. Ideally, you want it to be cool, dry, and out of direct sunlight. To prepare your own storage containers, even brand new ones, they should be sterilized with a combination of bleach and water. The Ready.gov website recommends a solution of 1 teaspoon of non-scented liquid chlorine bleach to 1 quart of water. Swish it around in the container, rinse and repeat if necessary. When you are ready to fill the container for long-term storage of water, even if you're using a chlorinated municipal water supply, you should still add the recommended amount of water preserver, and this is available both on and offline. This will stop the growth of any bacteria or organisms in the water while it is stored. Finally, write the fill date and any other pertinent information on the container, like when the preservative was added and how long it's supposed to last. This way you'll know when the container needs to be emptied, cleaned, and refilled. If the water infrastructure is down, where can you find water? Consider places in the home that hold water, like the hot water heater or even the tank on the back of the toilet. These might provide some water in an emergency. If you must get water from a natural water source like a stream or a river, choose fast-moving water before slow, shallow, or stagnant water, as this will usually be a lot cleaner. How do you make the water safe to drink? So we're going to cover boiling, treating, and filtering the water. Getting water to a rolling boil for 3 up to 10 minutes will remove most microorganisms, but won't necessarily remove all toxins and contaminants. If the grid is down and you have to use alternative fuel like propane or wood to boil the water, be aware that fuel is very valuable. So the more treated and stored water you have on hand, the better. According to Ready.gov, you can chlorinate your water by adding 8 drops of unscented liquid chlorine bleach to each gallon of water and letting it sit for at least 30 minutes before drinking. Another way to treat water is by distillation. Now, there are several steps involved here, so we will link to a Ready.gov webpage that explains how this process works. As previously mentioned, even boiling might not remove all the toxic contaminants, so this is where filtration comes in. For this video, we will only focus on filtration that can happen without power or a pressurized water supply. There are a number of smaller personal water filters available that do a great job with providing enough for drinking. There are some higher capacity filters that are still small and lightweight. One of the emergency preparedness standbys, and it's not really portable and it's fairly expensive, but highly recommended by the prepping community, is the Berkey type of water filter that simply sits on your counter and works with gravity. The nice thing with this type of filter is it can be used in everyday life. When it comes to clean, safe water, always have backup options available. In this video, we covered both water storage and water treatment, so let's review. We can only last about 3 days without clean water, so make it a priority. Don't ration your drinking water. Have enough for 1 gallon per person per day, and have at least 3 days worth of water stored someplace dark and cool in the house. The more water stored, the better. Learn the signs and symptoms of dehydration and waterborne illnesses, and do your very best to avoid these by drinking plenty of clean, safe water. Acquire water storage containers. Prep those containers. Fill and prep that water for storage. Write the date on the container and store it in a cool, dark place. Consider alternative sources of water if the infrastructure is down. Learn how to treat water by a variety of methods, including boiling, chlorinating, distilling, and filtering. This wraps up our video on getting informed about water as it relates to preparedness. Make this a priority so you can keep your family healthy and safe in an emergency.